Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new game on my channel called Satisfactory. It's a brand new game on my channel, but I am far from new to this game. In fact, Update 8 just released today, and I've been playing I think since Update 2, so I'm quite familiar with this game, but I've never thought about streaming it because I thought that automation would be a little bit boring to comment and play, but I've got a couple of friends that were following my channel that asked me to start commenting on my videos, so I thought it would be a good idea to start a fresh new save in Satisfactory and see how it goes. So, of course, having Update 8 just released today, I won't be using any mods because no mods are currently working with this update, but I usually like to play with a couple of them, especially the one that lets you have daylight all the time so you don't have a day-night cycle. But for now, I guess we'll have to deal with having night. Although with the new update and Lumen, global illumination, building a factory with lighting in mind will actually be quite interesting. So I will go into the options and enable that to begin with because I believe it is disabled. I'm also gonna turn the music volume down a bit because I don't really like it. There you go, global illumination is at high, and then all of the other settings are normal. I believe that's how I played with it. Everything's at high. Is there higher? There's ultra, so let's put everything at ultra. I believe my computer can take it. And here we go. Now, I like to put creature hostility at passive. I don't really like dealing with creatures when you go and move on and they start attacking you while you're trying to build something, so if I have to kill creatures, they'll only attack me if I attack them first. So if I need to clear them from a node, I'll do it, but I don't want to have them aggressively attacking me, especially spiders. I hate spiders, but that's another whole thing. I will not remove the spiders from the game because I believe that them being in the game is actually how it's supposed to be played, which is also why I'm not using any of the new advanced settings that allow you to unlock all the milestones, all of the MAM research, and everything that you will see in the game. So let's create a new map, new game, and I like the Northern Forest and also like Grassfield for starters. I find that the Dune Desert is more of a late game start location because all of the resources are pure and there's a lot of them, so when you're building a big factory you need a lot of resources. That's where you kind of migrate to the Dune Desert. But let's start on the Northern Forest since it also has in Update 8 it has been reworked and it's been polished, so we will see how it looks. Of course, I will enable the onboarding process, start game at tier 1. There's no really point in playing the tutorial. If you would like to see the tutorial, actually, you know what? Let's play it. It allows you to build a lot of buildings early on, and I think it's going to be great. Like I said, I'm not using any of the game settings. The game is actually, you know, supposed to be played as a default version, I find. A lot of content creators and people that have like played for the game for a long time might want to go and change the advanced game settings and have everything unlocked as they spawn because they're just creating new buildings, creating stuff in the blueprint, the designer, and it's a lot easier when you have no cost, no power, and everything is free. But I'm going to play the game as it's supposed to be played, starting from scratch. And the drop pod is also very cool.
Attention Pioneer. The following instructional video is a summary of your impending duties as an exoplanetary pioneer for Fixit Incorporated. Fixit Pioneers have 3 cyclical assigned pillars of work to ultimately accomplish project assembly. Use provided blueprints to build the necessary buildings. Chart the planet and gather resources to provide desired results and improve your infrastructure. Make sure to report any unusual discoveries to R&D for analysis. Expand your factories, outposts, and pipelines through automation and augmentation. That's it. Get to work and be effective. Warning, planetfall imminent. Please remain seated during full procedure. Atmospheric entry in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Planetfall procedure initialized. Planetfall complete. Please ensure the integrity of your multi-purpose exploration suit is at 100%. Remember, efficiency first. Godspeed. Welcome to Planet Massage 2 ABB, your designated sector in the binary star system of Akicha. I am Ada, also known as Artificial Directory and Assistant, tasked to support pioneers, such as you, in their mission. You are the third of note. Objective...
Alright, I don't need to hear this. Welcome to the Norton Forest, which is next to the Titan Forest that has been reworked, like I said earlier. Big ass trees and a lot of green leaves. You've got flower petals for your cartridges and everything. So early on, we power our generators with biomass. There'll be plenty to go around. Let's dismantle the hub with F, and let's go find our first.
Data and communication is recorded and stored.
Yes, thank you, Idea. Alright, let's go first find our zone where we're going to start our factory. There's actually 2 areas. We don't have access to the map yet. There's 2 good areas to start up. There's one in the middle of the forest that there's a lot of iron ore, there's copper, and there's limestone, which is a good start, but you don't have access to water nearby, which we'll need for a coal generation, a coal power at tier 2. So when I start on the Norton Forest, I like to go on the northwest side of the forest. There's a cliff area with a lot of resources as well, which I think is pretty much the most known location to start a playthrough at. in the Northern Forest. A lot of people that I follow on YouTube, they start their forest journey on that spot. Oops. Of course there's fall damage, but we won't die from that. And here's the area. Alright, so we've got our copper node right here, which is a pure node, if I remember. Yep. There's a limestone on top of here, and I believe there's 4 iron nodes in this area right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. The nodes are really easy to find most of the time. They have this little spike that's coming out of them. It prevents you from building miners on them, so you'll have to destroy them if you want to put the miner down. For now, let's put the hub somewhere where we can use it easily. Which I believe... yeah, right here will be fine.
Congratulations. 5th objective.
Alright, we have our craft bench and we have our hub terminal, which has the upgrade inside of them. So the first upgrade is 10 iron rods. To make iron rods, you'll need iron ingots, which at the very beginning, like this, you don't have access to any portable miners, so you'll have to dig them manually. Let's put the zapper in my hand. Alright. Here you go, 27 iron ore. Let's just break all of this spire. That should give us enough iron ore. Here you go, 97 iron ore, that's plenty. The early stages, if you start with the tutorial on, will just be crafting ingots. You find the resources. When you start crafting, you can just press the spacebar and it will launch the crafting for you. You won't have to hold it, and then you can just wait until it's done. Of course, I won't need to craft all the ingots. I only need 10 because the ratio of ingots to rod is 1:1, and we only need 10 rods for the moment. Now you can drag and drop to put them in the parts received, or you can just click Control and left click and it would pull it in and then upgrade. We get a nice little personal storage box where we can put what we don't need for the moment. I'm going to put my flower petal.
Congratulations. You have unlocked.
Yes. Alright. Now if we check Tier 0, Upgrade 1. Upgrading the hub to Upgrade 1 will give us access to the Equipment Workshop, the portable miners, and it gives us 3 inventory slots for our pocket dimension, which is our inventory basically. So we got an additional 3 squares of inventory space. Now, Upgrade 2 will give us access to smelters, power line, copper ingots, wire and cable, which are made with copper ingots, and we will be able to scan the copper ore in our scanner. And now it requires 20 rods and 10 iron plates. Both can be crafted with iron ingots. Unfortunately, I think I do not have enough iron ingots for both. So I'm going to have to craft 20 rods and 10 ingots. A couple more ingots. Here you go. Give this to the hub and upgrade. And we got our first biomass burner.
You have unlocked 7th objective. Advice.
So the biomass burners will take leaves, woods, petals, anything that is biological, basically, and it will produce 20 megawatts for the one that are in the hub. The normal biomass burner that I believe we unlock with hub upgrade 3 produces 30 megawatts, but I believe it consumes a little bit more than the one in the hub. Overall, you can connect all of them together for the power lines. I just prefer not to connect the ones in the hub because the power is not as much as a normal one. So hub upgrade 3. Oh no, upgrade 3 give us access to the constructor, the Mark 1 power pole, concrete, screws, iron, reinforced iron plate, and a limestone. We also need a wire for this one, so we'll need to go and get some from the copper node. Now I'm just going to craft a bunch of ingots, and I'm going to make some portable miners so that we can mine the resource without doing it manually. We just place the miner on the node and it will mine it for us. Now I'm sorry if I don't cut the manual crafting. I'm still new to this. I might educate myself on some stuff on YouTube to make it more, I guess, viewer friendly, you might call it. But for now, you'll just have to bear with me as I manually craft all those ingots. And I will craft some plates and some rods to make the miners. There we go. Now if you press Q, it will bring you your builder menu. We've unlocked the smelter and the equipment workshop. We will need the equipment workshop to make the miners. I'm just going to place it right here. And portable miners. 2 iron plates, 4 iron rods for one. We'll build a couple, probably all 4 of them. Yeah, 3 should be fine. So let's place one on the iron ore. You have to place it in your hand first to be able to put it on the node. And you have to make sure if you put it where it doesn't say press E to start mining iron ore, the miner will not recognize that you have placed it on a node and will not mine for you. So place it down, it will set up itself, and it will dig. Since we'll need a lot of iron ore. Oh, this is new. You can just press E and it will automatically do it for you without... That's new. Huh. You had to hold it normally, and now you just have to click once and it mines until you leave the node. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Alright, so 2 miners on the iron ore. Let's go get some copper. And here we go. Let's dig a bit to get some copper ore while the miner sets up, because we're going to need 20 wires, which will require quite a few copper ore. Now, being a pure node, if you look into the miner, the portable miner will give you 80 ore per minute. The maximum amount of ore that can be contained into 1 square is 100, so when the miner reaches 100 copper ore, it will stop digging as it is full, and you'll need to pull the resources out for it to continue. So for now, that should be enough for what we need to do. Let's go back to the hub, grab the same thing here, 80 per minute. 100, it's full. Let's grab it all. Later on, when you have the automated miners, they will dig the resources and put them on belts, and then you can put it into storage, or you can put them directly into smelters and constructors to build the resources, basically automating the process, which is the goal of the game. So we need 20 plates, 20 rods, and 20 copper wire. So let's start with the copper wire. As you craft the copper ingots, it tells you how much you need, well, how much you'll be able to produce with what you have right now. So as 13, 14, it goes up here, and it tells you that right now, with what I've got in my inventory, I would be able to make 40 wire. And then you also need wire to make cable. But for now, we don't need cable, because we are not powering any power poles or any machines with the biomass burners. We are all crafting manually. The rest will come after. So 20 rods, I currently have 6, so I need 14, so I'm way over that. And 20 plates, I have 8, I need 12, so let's craft some plates. So we have 20. And then some iron rods, I'm going to need 12 more. Let's put everything in the machine. And voila. Now I have the interior built.
Congratulations. You have unlocked scanner feature, limestone. New buildings and recipe. 8th objective. Complete
upgrade 4, which now I believe gives you access to the conveyor belts and 3 more inventory slots. Now this is where it becomes a little bit more complicated. Well, not complicated, but it's longer to process, because now we need 20 cable, which we need wire from, so it's a second recipe. We need concrete, so we'll need the limestone that I was talking about. Unfortunately, since we don't have access to foundation, I believe that we won't be able to go get this one, so I'm going to need to find another limestone node somewhere that I can get access to, because I don't think I can climb that right off the bat without having access to foundations, which I didn't think about that. But that's another problem for another day. And then we need 75 plates, which, as you can see, it's 3 iron ingots for 2 plates, which it's going to take quite a while to get 75 plates. So let's start crafting. Alright, so we've got the plates that we need. We need 20 cable. So as you can see, with 20 wires, I'm able to craft 10 cable because it is a ratio of 2 to 1. It takes 2 wire to make 1 cable. So if I want another 10 cable, I'm going to need another 20 wire. So we're going to need a little bit more copper ingots. And just like that, 10 more wires. We're at 15, 5 more ingot. We'll have 40 wire and then 20 cable. And then we will need the limestone, which, as I said, I don't think I have access to this one. So if you press V, it brings you your scanner. You can scan for, right now, iron ore, copper ore, and limestone. I believe there's 8 different resources in the game at the end, but right now we only have access to 3, so let's see. Of course, at this node, and then I have another node 207 meters this way, and another node 353 meter that way. So, let's see if we can grab this one. If not, we'll go to this one. Oh, yeah, okay. We are able to climb up here from the back. Alright, I believe 80 will be enough. If I remember correctly, it is a ratio of 3 to 1 for the limestones. It takes 3 limestone to make 1 concrete. Yeah, so it's quite a lot more resource intensive for that resource. Let's see, concrete. Yes, 3 limestone for 1 concrete. So since we only need 10, I only needed 30. We'll craft it all just to get rid of the limestone in our inventory. Here you go. Give it all to the machine and upgrade the hub. I believe with this, it is now level 5.
Congratulations, you have unlocked building 9th.
Alright, so we've unlocked the constructor, and we've also unlocked, power pole was the other one. We've unlocked the conveyor belts. There is 5 levels of conveyor belts in the game right now. There's the level 1, well, they're all Mark 1 to 5. Right now the one that we have access to is Mark 1, which can transport up to 60 resources per minute on the belt. You've got 60, 120, 270, 480, and 780. Yes. So as you progress through the tiers, you'll get access to those faster belts, and you'll be able to significantly upgrade the amount of machines producing parts in your factory. So with that being said, let's see what we need for upgrade 5. We need 75 rods, 50 cables, and 20 concrete, which will give us access to the miner Mark 1, which will require power to work, but we'll be able to mine the resources indefinitely so long as it is powered. We'll have access to storage container and 3 more inventory slots. So select it. So 50 cables, we need 100 wire, which 1 to 2, we should be able to do this. We need 50 ingots, and we had quite a lot more, so let's start with that. Last stage is to craft the wire, the cables. And here we go. We have 50 cables that we can put in the machine right away. 16 concrete. We'll be missing just a little bit. Then 75 iron. We only have 72 ingots, so we'll need a little bit more ore. Now what we could do is, while we are crafting the ore, we could power up with leaves the machine here. We don't have cable. Let's make a couple of cables and some wire. Six cable should be enough. I'm not going to build too far from the base. So let's put a power pole. We need iron rod and we need some concrete. So let's go get some limestone. We'll gather about 100. That should be enough. And 90 will be fine. 92. Oh, we're at 92. Let's go 98. Alright. Now there's three quality of nodes. All of the nodes that are here are pure, but there's also some normal nodes and some impure. Each of the nodes gives you a different amount of resources per miner that you put on it. These portable miners are doing 80 on the pure node. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is 60 on a normal and 40 on an impure, and so the ratio of resources getting out of the node sometimes will surpass what your belt will be able to carry. Eventually, as you unlock the tier, as I said, you'll be able to unlock better belts and maximize the amount of resources taken out of your resource nodes. But for now, we are stuck with Mark 1 belts, so 60 is the max that we can do. So let's craft some concrete. I don't need much. Some iron ingots, because we need some rods for the power poles. And while we are manually crafting the rest, we will do a little automation with a smelter. So let's place down, I'm gonna need one more rod, of course. Now if you already have one of the building placed down and you just want to build another one, you just press the construction key or the dismantle key, which is F, and instead of dismantling it, if you click on your middle mouse button, it will sample the building that you want to build, and you'll be able to build it next to one. Of course, I'm missing one wire. Do I have any more copper? I do not. So we'll deal with one for now. Let's power it up. And now we need to select a recipe. Iron ingots, copper ingots. Right now I have iron on me, so let's do iron, and it will produce ingots for us, so we won't have to do this part of the process. We'll just be able to feed the smelter manually for now until we put the miner on the node, and we'll be able to start automating the resource gathering. Let's grab some copper. Miner will start again, pick up 100 more. Let's do... Now that I've got enough, let's put another smelter up. Copper ingots. Let's put some copper in, and let's power it up. Now, if you have a power pole down, you can actually see your power grid. Right now we have a capacity of 20 megawatts, which is what this biomass burner produces in terms of electricity burning the leaves. Since it is not at full capacity at 20, it won't consume 80 leaves per minute, I don't think. I think it's progressive in how much power you're consuming. So our production is 8, consumption is 8, maximum consumption. If all the machines that we had stopped working because they're full, the current production would go down, but our max consumption would stay the same because all machines, if powered, would consume 8 megawatts. So that means that 4 megawatts is being consumed per smelter. So now we've got a couple of copper ingots, couple of iron ingots. Let's grab those, and let's craft some iron rods. I'm going to need a couple more manually because we need 75 of them. Alright, so now we have all the rods and concrete that we need. Let's upgrade the hub. And I believe that gave us a second biomass burner.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Building Miner Mark 1. Building Storage Container, 10th objective.
There you go. Why is this one red? Alright, so that gave us access to the Miner Mark 1, and it gave us access to the storage container. So if we wanted to, and if we had the resources, what we could do is put a storage container after the smelters so that it would never stop crafting when it's reached 100. Now this one just ran out of iron ore, let's give it some more. This one is still good for a couple more. Alright, what's the next upgrade? Upgrade 6, there we are. Space elevator, which is what we need to upgrade to tier 2 and 3. Biomass burners, and you will be able to craft biomass, either leaves or wood, which is, it burns slower, and it's more fuel efficient basically for your burners. So let's select that, and as you can see, the amount of resources has doubled. We need 100 rods, 100 plates, 100 cable, and 50 concrete. As you progress through the games, you'll get different types of machines. Productions will get more complicated, but this is what Satisfactory is all about. It's building up, basically. I personally like to make everything at 100% efficiency, just because I find it to be more pleasant. And so when I build a factory, I always plan on my maximum amount of resources that I want of that factory producing, and I go from there from the miner. Let's grab some more ore to put in the smelter, because I believe the copper smelter is stopped. There we go. More copper for you. Give me the ingots. More iron for you. I'll take your ingots, and let's craft some rods and plates. So 98, of course it's not going to be enough. We're going to need more, but that's okay. Let's build some concrete. Need 100 wires, which we can craft right now. I'm going to craft a little bit more because we're going to need it for the smelters and the cables. Actually, I'm going to craft it all. Might as well. Here we go. Let's craft a couple of cables. And 31 should be fine. Let's put 100 in there and up to more concrete. So 50 concrete. We currently have 28. So we need 22 more. So if we need 22 and it's 3 to 1, 66 concrete. Or I should say 66 limestone. Hello, Mantha. Alright, 75 should be fine. Careful not to fall. Alright, this should be enough for now. And they are out of power. It consumed it all. More power. It starts again. Alright, so 100 rods. Let's go. We have all the concrete, we have all the rods, and we have a little bit over half of the plates. Just waiting for some more iron ingots. Let's craft some manually. How much plates do we have in? We have 57 plates in the hub upgrade right now, so we need 43. Oh, do we have one? Nope, we're missing one. Here we go. That should be it. Upgrade 6. That should bring our little friend. We have unlocked. Oh,
Congratulations. You have unlocked building space elevator, building biomass burner, part biomass. Motivational mess addition note.
okay, so
Future
we have an
development.
invisible cargo transport. That's weird. Oh, there it is. Well, that's a bug. Ah, there you go. We'll just need to reconnect the power. That should be it. Yes, so we are done with Tier 0. Our hub is upgraded to its full potential. This little cargo plane will take off every time we unlock new milestones, and our next objective is to build the space elevator. However, if we look at the space elevator resources, it's quite a lot. 500 concrete, 250 iron plates, 400 iron rods, and 1,500 wires. So we are not building that right away. We'll need to automate what we've got in terms of resources. So let's see the milestone that we've got at Tier 1. We've got base building, which is quite self-explanatory. We've got access to foundations and walls. Logistics, which unlocks splitters, mergers, lifts, and a productivity display on the machines. Field research gives us access to the map. A new hand slot. We have access to 2 hand slots, more inventory. And then the MAM, which we use to unlock more different kinds of researches. And at Tier 2, we've got part assembly, assembler, copper sheets, rotors, modular frames, and the first space elevator part, which is smart plating. Space elevator parts cannot be handcrafted in the craft bench. You absolutely have to do it in machines. So if we want to complete space elevator phase 1 to go to Tier 3 and Tier 4, unlocks by batch of 2, we'll need to build the assembler to make the smart plating. The assembler combines 2 parts and makes 1, so that's why it's locked with the assembler. We've got obstacle clearing, which gives us access to the chainsaw, more inventory, and solid biofuel, which is an even better type of fuel than the leaves, the biomass that we can create. Jump pads, pretty self-explanatory, creates jump pads for traveling the map. The Awesome Sink, which you can sink resources in it to get some coupons for the Awesome Shop and unlock more fancy objects and actually quality of life belts and conveyors stuff. And then the Logistic Marks 2, which unlock the Mark II conveyor belts, which those can carry up to 120 resources per minute. So we will start by unlocking the logistic, because I want to make everything work as efficient as possible, and I believe that a Mark I miner on a node of pure iron gives us, if I'm not mistaken, 120 resource, which will be half efficient because we only have 60, but it's still better than nothing. And then we'll need splitters because, as you can see, it takes 30 copper ore to make 30 copper ingot. So since we have a belt of 60, if we put it directly into one smelter without the splitter, it will be overflowing and the miner will stop working half the time. We don't want that. We want it to be able to split into 2 smelters and make it the most efficient possible. I'm going to take off the leaves and I'm going to craft some biomass. As you can see, biomass from leaves and biomass from wood. It burns twice as slow and it's a lot better for power generation. I believe a stack of 200 is the max that we can do, so 200 it will be. And then here we go. So instead of consuming 80 leaves per minute, it consumes 6.67 biomass per minute. But that is because we only have 2 smelters plugged in, and it only produces and consumes as much power as is needed to power your machines. And as you can see, there's still this bug as if this machine is being built, so we can't see if it's turned on or not, but I guess it's just the way it is. We'll have to deal with that later. Let's take this miner off. Let's put the iron ore in the machine. Do we have any copper? We do not, so let's just wait. And now, what do we need for the miner Mark 1? We need... I'm going to put 2. So 20 plates, 20 concretes, 2 portable miners, which we have. So we need a little bit more concrete, which we'll need to go get some more limestone. Alright, so let's build a miner on the iron ore. Since this is just our starter base, I am not gonna worry about the grid world building on foundations or anything. Once we upgrade and once we build a bigger factory, then yes, it's definitely gonna be on foundations because it's easier to build, better, and more efficient. But let's go on top to have a better view. So, as I said, pure iron ore on a Mark 1 miner produces 120 iron ore per minute. Unfortunately, we don't have the belt to have 120 ore per minute, so the miner will eventually back up and stop working and then just produces 60. We don't have the power shards either, so we can't downclock it to 60. So for now, we'll have to deal with that. We will build 2 of those, which we don't have the rods for, of course. Give me 1 second. Alright, so I do not have the splitters yet, but I will build it thinking about the fact that I will have a splitter. So I'll build one. If you want to, I say snap parallel, if you press left control, it will snap to the machine that's next to it. So if you want to build like in a row, multiple ones, if you press control, you'll have a line and it will be attached to the row of machines that you're currently building. Now of course it will probably be better if I don't build them like this, just a little bit more space so that the splitter can go here and put the resources in both. For now we will put a Mark 1 belt into one. Because we don't have the splitters, we'll put iron ingots and we will power the miner and the smelter. And here we go. Miner is starting. We should see the resource come out anytime. Here we go. So we have our first automation of iron ingots. Now, the first thing that I personally want to automate is the iron plates. Why? Because it is the easiest recipe to follow, and because you need iron plates to build the Mark 1 belt. So you'll need a lot of that, and considering that the recipe is quite easy to follow, you only need a constructor which needs reinforced iron plates. Can we build that? I believe we can. Reinforced iron plates, really. It takes iron plates and screws. We have access to screws, so let's craft a couple. We need 2 reinforced iron plates, so we'll wait for it to show 2. There we go. Build the 2 iron plates that we need. And then go back to the smelter that is currently working. We'll go on top again. I guess it doesn't matter. Alright. So, constructor, press control, it will snap to the exit of that, and then we just place it in front. Mark 1 belt. So we have currently 30 ingots coming out of this smelter going into the constructor. Now, we've got different recipes. The one that we want is iron plate, and the reason that I said that it's easy is because this smelter takes 30 ingots, 30 iron ore to make 30 ingots. And this constructor makes 20 plates out of 30 ingots. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio from this smelter to this constructor. So you only need to plug in one machine. You don't need splitters or mergers or anything of the sort. The only thing that we're missing is power. Here we go, and now we have iron plates being automated. The next step would probably be to put a container. Do I have enough resources? Probably not. I do not have enough rods. Storage container, press control, snaps to the exit, and we put a Mark 1 belt to go inside the storage. So now even if this machine has its 100% efficiency, all of the plates will be transferred over to the container, and we can just directly grab what we need from the container itself. So now that's done, we'll just wait and collect all the plates. We'll need some copper, so I'll just go grab the copper ore and put it in this smelter right here for now. I believe I'll put another miner here. Just to have a little bit more copper ore. How much power are we consuming? Maximum consumption would be 21. So if all of the machines would be working, it would be over our current capacity. So what we'll need to do is build a little bit more of that biomass and power up the other generator. Just in case, you can never be too careful with power. Here we go. Insert the fuel and connect the power line. Oh, well. If you click on a power pole and you click on the line that is attached to the machine, it will actually let you build another pole in between the two. So I don't have to delete the power line and then the power stops and then have to reconnect everything. I can just build a new power line in there and then just connect it to the other one. So now our maximum capacity is 40 because both of them at basically full generation would give us 40. However, we're only consuming 8.3 right now. The 0.3 is this miner going up and down and up and down and up and down because the overflow of resources is making it stop. Let's put some more iron ore in there. Grab all the ingots, and now that we don't need this one, we'll just delete it. $300 wires, we can only build 200. Let's build some of the rods that we'll need for the logistics. I believe we'll be able to build them all. Missing one. Oh my god, we're missing one. Here we go. Alright, let's go see how many plates we've made. Probably not a whole lot since it is only 20 per minute. Well, you see, we only have 110, so it doesn't seem like much, but while you're doing other things, this machine is actually crafting quite a lot. Grab some more copper. Alright, we have an... Yeah, launch pod.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to increase the complexity and efficiency of your factory. We encourage you to consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short-range transportation. The productivity
Oh, don't hit the
display
manta.
will help you measure
Alright,
and
you're
improve
fine.
the productivity of it.
Alright, so our little cart, space cart is gone, delivering resources to whatever is up there. We have actually no idea what's up there, but this is what the space elevator is for. We connect to whatever is in the sky and then send resources there. So we've unlocked the productivity tab. So if now we check, we see that every 2 seconds, 1 copper ore is being used, and right now this machine is working at 82% efficiency. Well, since it is not connected with a belt giving it resources, it's not producing at 100%, but this one should be. Yes, 100%, because it's actually receiving 60, but since it only needs 30, it's at 100%, and we have the maximum iron ore possible in the stash. This one should be at 50%. It's actually at 25%, but it's actually at 50% because it's... Oh, no, it's actually right. It's at 25% because this machine only takes 30 since we don't have any splitters. Now that we do have splitters, however, if we go into the logistics, we now have the lifts, which are used to convey resources vertically. And we also have the conveyor merger and the splitter, so we will be able to fix this problem. Let's go grab a little bit more plates because we'll need them for the Mark 1 belt.
Milestone exchange concluded. Fix-it freighter re-entry complete.
Alright, sorry about that if I didn't talk. I was immersed into building. So, I made another machine making iron plates. Since we're going to need a lot of them, I thought that it would be a good idea to double up the production. So now we have 40 plates per minute being produced by this one node. For now, because we don't have access to Mark II belts. If we had access to Mark II belts right away, we could double up the production, so make it 80 plates per minute if we wanted to, or we could do another either the iron rods or the screws, which is iron resources. That being done, let's see the next milestone. What can we make? Field research, don't really need it. Base building would be nice, but I think I'm gonna go with obstacle clearing so that we can unlock this chainsaw and the solid biofuel, which we'll need for the biomass burners. So let's select that. We'll need cable, concrete, and screws. So what we'll do is we'll start doing the concrete, since it is the most well, the easiest one to do, I believe. Do we have enough plates? Let's see. We need one miner, so we need that portable miner somewhere. Let's see, one constructor. I believe that's all we can make really out of that node for now. Production, craft bench. Of course we don't have enough rods. So as you can see, the very beginning of the game is always like that. You go to build something, you're missing it, you have to go back and craft it manually, and then you have to do it all over again, and so on and so forth. I believe I don't even have iron ingots left, and since I'm using all of them for this, well, I have to manually grab some ore. That will be for the constructor that I need. We need some cable. And I need one miner. Alright. Let's see. I kind of want my container to be here so it's easier of access. So let's build the miner facing this way. Alright, 120 limestone per minute. We only have a 60 belt. This one actually bypasses the smelter. You only need to build a constructor. So let's see. Constructor of limestone. It takes 45 for 15. We can't overclock it at the moment, which would be ideal, but we'll have to deal with the 45 per minute. Let's rebuild the miner so it's facing this way. A little bit of belt spaghetti. Here we go. We'll have some concrete. I'll upgrade it later to have 60. And I want a storage container, which I probably won't have enough rods. Of course I won't. I guess rods will be the next resource that I will automate. Alright, so I won't have to go back up there to grab the concrete. It will all come down to this beautiful little storage. So we've got plates, we've got concretes. Let's do some iron ore for some iron rods. I'm probably going to need quite a lot of space, so I'm going to start with this node right here. We're going to need, let's see, we're going to need one miner, we're going to need 2 smelters for now, and we're going to need 4 constructors. Because the constructor for iron rods, it's 15 ingots for 15 rods. So since one smelter produces 30 ingots, each of the 2 smelters that we'll have to be split in 2, and all of the resources will go into constructors, and that will make us 60 iron rods per minute. So we need 1 portable miner. We're going to need quite a few more rods, so let's grab a little bit of that iron. Alright, let's go grab the concrete that we're missing. I guess we'll grab some of the iron ingot. That will be easier to craft the rod. Oh yeah, plenty of concrete. Alright, let's go start this. So, we're going to need the miner Mark 1. Let's place it facing west. So, another pure node, 120. We only have 60, so we need one splitter. Logistic conveyor splitter. We'll put it facing the hole in the miner, just like that. 60 belt split into 2. We'll put the smelters. Iron ingots, iron ingots. So 60, 30, 30. We have 100 efficiency for the smelter. And as I said, if we look over to the construct, the iron rods is 15 iron ingots for 15 iron rods. Since this machine produces 30 ingots, we'll need 2 constructors per smelter. So I'm going to put a splitter in front of this smelter. Just like that, and I will middle mouse button on the constructor to copy it. For constructors, all of the belts are connected. Here we go, and now we just get the recipe for iron rods on all 4 of them. One way to do it too is you can press Ctrl C and Ctrl V for copy paste. So if the recipe is already in this one, I just copied. This one has no recipe. If I paste it, and we go back into the machine, we see that it pasted the latest recipe that I copied. So it's a lot faster than going into the machine at each time and just setting it up. Now we need power. We won't have enough cables. We'll need some wires for the power pole as well, so let's craft a couple. That should be enough. Here we go. Now let's check our power grid. Maximum consumption is 63. Uh-oh, so that means we probably need a new biomass burner. Biomass burner, we do not have, we're missing 4 wire. Yes, the infamous sound of the fuse broken. We are not making enough. As you can see, we have enough biomass in those 2, but we do not produce enough power. So we're going to need to craft a little bit more biomass and put it in the new one that we just built to give us just that little boost that we need for all the machines to be actually working. Alright, so biomass inside of it, plug it to the power, and then flip the switch back on. So now we have a capacity of 70 because this one is 30 megawatts and those two are 20 each. Maximum consumption is 63, so we should be fine and good to go. And as you can see, the constructors have started working. We should be automating iron rods, yes, and now we just need to put them in a container. Now what I will do right away is plan for the future, so I will put a merger for these two constructors. I will copy the storage container, and we have the storage of rods. Now I didn't put these ones with this because we will make some screws with the rods that we have here. The next step in the construction is actually to transform the rods into screws. There's an alternate recipe out there. If you find crash sites, you can go and give resources. It gives you a hard drive that you can then put into the MAM, which I believe we haven't unlocked yet. But if you put the hard drive inside the MAM, it takes 10 minutes. It will analyze the hard drive and it will give you alternate recipes for resources. There's actually an alternate recipes when you can directly go from iron ingots to screws, bypassing the need to make the iron rods. It saves you energy, but the amount of resources is actually the exact same, so it's not that more complicated. It's just saves you machines and saves you on power as well because you don't have as many machines. Considering the fact that we need, if I remember correctly, it's 10 rods to make 40 screws, which means that we'll need those two to be merged together because they all produce 15. Merging them together will make us 30, so 30 divided by 3 is 10 each. We'll have a perfect ratio of rods to screws, so we'll need 3 more constructors. 1, 2, 3. So we need 24 cables and 6 reinforced iron plates. Let's craft all of the rods. That will get rid of all the iron ingots that we've got on us. We'll be able to make some screws and some cable. The next step after that, of course, we'll go over to the copper node and make some wire and cable, and that should be it for this episode, I believe. Now, the reason that I'm not putting the reinforced iron plates into a machine is because, as I said earlier, it is 2 to 1. I need iron plates and screws to make the reinforced iron plate. And for that, I would need to unlock the part assembly so that I'd be able to make the assemblers. However, like I said, I kind of want the obstacle clearing so I can make solid biofuel, which is a lot better than what we're burning right now in our biomass burners. So let's go over here. I always like to have a bird's eye view. Of course, I believe if we go into organization, eventually one of the milestone unlocks a watchtower that we can build and then climb on top and have a higher view of what we're doing. But for now, that should be fine. We'll need to we need to merge the lines and then split them into 3. So let's I think I'm going to merge them this way. Oh, we need a little bit more iron plates, which of course we are automating. Look at that. Of course, it's spaghetti right now. The belts are not ready. They're not a 90-degree angle. They're not supported by any foundations. But as a starter base, you kind of don't want to worry about that too much, because you'll need a lot of resources to actually make a base that's decent. So just, in my opinion, start spaghetti and then destroy everything if you want to, and then rebuild on foundations. It's a lot easier than having to build from foundation right away, because foundations takes iron plates, which we're crafting here, and concrete. So you'll need a lot of those to make just like a basic floor. So it's not really worth it at the very beginning. Alright, so let's, we need 3 constructors. We first need a splitter, of course, because we need to split that 30 rods into 3. So let's put it here. We have 30 rods. They're 15, 15 makes 30. We'll split in 3, so 10 each. One, two, three. Put all the belts in, and then set the recipe to screws. Copy set. Paste it over. Make sure that it works. Paste it over, and here we go. We need to link it to power. So we'll need to build one like so. Are we gonna miss on power? It's getting close. And there you go. So we need a biomass burner, which we don't have enough wire. This is the pain of the game, and this is what you'll hear most often. Getting power automated comes at tier 3 and 4, so at the very beginning of the game, you just go around, you make a lot of biomass, and then you just hope for the best. I don't have cable. There you go. 100 max. How are these guys doing on resource? Biomass. We'll be fine for a while. Alright. So we are making screws. Now, I'll delete that one. We don't need it anymore. Now, the problem is, each one of those constructors makes 40 screws per minute. If we wanted to make them all join up together, it would be 120. However, as I said before, we only have 60 belts, so we wouldn't be able to put them all together. The belt would just clog the system, and then we wouldn't be producing as many screws as we need. So what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of, we could either build 3 storage containers, one for each since it's 40, or we could make 2 of them at each end and split this one into 2. So this one's producing 40, it would send 20 on each side, which would merge with those 40, making 60, which is what we're going to do. So merger, the arrow pointing where you want it to go, press Control to snap it. And a splitter right here. I'm gonna It's not lining up properly. Middle click button. And here we go. So we have 60 on each belt, so it's a full belt going into 2 containers, and we now have screws. So as you can see, it can turn out into a mess of belt really quickly. The recipes are not that hard to follow. All you have to do is, if you want to look at them before you build, you just build the machine and you look at how many resources it takes. And yeah, it's once you get the hold of it, it's relatively easy to build, but it's not a big learning curve. You just have to pay attention to the ratio of resources that it's coming out, and of course you have to make sure that the belt can actually carry the amount of resources you want them to carry. So with that being said, let's go grab some rods. Wow, here we go. So we'll need screws, cable, and concrete. We probably have enough concrete being stored right now. Yes, we do. The screws are being produced, so let's go grab some copper, or do we have enough ingots? We do have enough ingots. So let's just handcraft the cable while we wait for the 500 screws to build up, and then we'll set it into space. Then we'll automate the copper, and that should be it for now. Alright, here we go. Let's go see. It should be really quick. Yeah, 188 screws already in this one. We should have the same amount in this one, or almost the same amount. So while this is building, let's go over to the copper. Oh, we will need production. We'll need 1 miner, and we'll need 2 smelters, and we'll need 4 constructors, if I'm not mistaken. The miner we already have. We'll just grab it from this. Yoink. Pick up the miner. Pick up this one as well. Build the miner facing this way so the resources comes towards the other setup that we've got. Here we go. Same process, 120. We only have 60 belt, so we'll build a splitter. If we had cable. Logistic splitter. Now, as you can see at the bottom, there's a hotbar. What I just did is I went to the builder, and I went to production. What I like to do is if you hold the Alt button and you roll your mouse wheel, you've got different options for hotbars up to 10. So my number 1 is normally power with some belts and the splitters, anything that's manageable. And then number 2 is just the whole production tab on the builder menu. So I put constructors on 1, smelters on 2, miners on 3, workbench on 4. The way you do it, you hover over the machine and you just click 1, and then you see it was bound, it's now unbound. If I click 1 again, it just bounds it again to the hotbar. That way it's easier, you don't have to go back to the builder menu all the time, you just have to click on 1 button and then it selects the constructor for you. Once you have a couple of machines, sometimes, for example, the assembler that we were talking about will be on the same bar menu as manufacturers. You'll have the constructor and then you'll have the assembler. All you have to do is press 1, and then if you press the E button, which I can't do right now because I don't have the assembler unlocked, but if you press the E button on your keyboard, it will switch to the next machine in the same row. So if I have constructor, assembler, later on there's a manufacturer, there's also a smelter and a foundry. So in the smelter category, if you press the E button, you'll switch from the smelter to the foundry, you'll switch from the constructor to the assemblers, miner marked 1 to 2 and 3, etc., etc. So it's a lot easier to control. You don't have to go to and press Q all the time. And yeah, so if I just press Alt, roll back to my menu 1, and I press 3, I have the belt selected. I can now build all the belts. Don't have to worry about going back to the queue. We'll set them up for copper ingots, 30 to 30, same principle as the iron ore. Now the difference is in the constructor. If I remember correctly, constructor, we don't have the necessary amount of iron plates. Constructor, if I build one here, if I remember correctly, wire, yes, 15 copper ingots for 30 wire, so 1 is 30, divided by 2, that's 15, so each smelter will need 2 constructors. Again, I like efficiency over everything else, that's why I'm doing all of this. I just want everything to be running at their maximum capacity that we've got access to right now, so let's just build 4 constructors. Floor is too steep. Alright, well. Cable. I need to build it a little bit more because I built the constructor to show you the recipe, so I'm missing 1 in the recipe here. That should be fine. Like I said at the very beginning, when you're starting to build, doesn't really matter about the spaghetti, so I'm just gonna build it efficiently with spaghetti. Conveyor splitter. Divide it into 2, and then we need 2 more constructors. I guess I could just build them here. I don't like to do it like this, but kind of have no choice. Set it to wire. Why not? Spaghetti away. Alright. And now we need power. Now, of course, our power generation might not be enough. We shall see. I believe we're producing 100 right now maximum. These two have stopped working. Yes. We'll need more biofuel. Split it into two. Capacity 100, maximum consumption 71. We should be fine. Famous last words. I'm just gonna need a couple more cable. See. Maximum consumption 100. It's like I planned for it, but I did not. So 60 coming out, 30, 30. They're 100% efficiency. They're coming out with 30 ingots each, which will be split into two, 15 on each constructor, which should work to 30 wires per constructors. Like we did for the screws, we'll join two of them into a bin, probably these two right here, because I don't want to build in the mountain. So let's do 5E, which is a merger. Join these two together, make a storage container. And here we go. So 30 on this one, 30 on this one. We have a perfect 60 belt of wire going in storage. Now we have these two, 30 and 30, which makes 60 wire per minute. And coincidentally, one constructor of cable, because we also need to automate cable. Cable needs 60 wire per minute to produce 30, so we'll just need to join these two together, make one constructor making cable, and put them in a storage bin. That will probably break our power line. Need a merger. cable, 60 wire, 30 cable, storage container, this one right here, or that'll be a little bit too far. Let's just make another power pole. Click on the cable, and I want it to go right here. Not enough cable. Well, alright, let's just hook it like this then. And here we go. We're gonna have the wire being automated, going into the storage bin. We have the cable being automated, going into this storage bin. And we now have all of the standard resources that we'll need. So we'll finish the milestone and wrap it up. Why is this one not producing at 100%? Ah, because I did not join this. That would be why. And that would be why it turned off. Okay. Of course, I should have picked up what I had in the bins before coming here. 20 cable. Here we go. There we go, and now we are able to send it to space.
Milestone reached. Biofuel will ensure maximum efficiency.
Alright, so if we go into the equipment workshop, we now have access to the chainsaw. I just need to craft 5 reinforced plates. That should have unlocked a... Oh, no, we don't have access to the second-hand thing. Here we go. Chainsaw is unlocked. It runs on solid biofuel, so we have to craft some for it to actually be powered. Solid biofuel is crafted from a biomass, so we're going to need to collect some leaves again. Okay, can't collect it with that in my hand. Alright, 1,000 leaves should be fine. Yep. Uh-oh. Ah. Well, I guess let's gather up all the biomass. Transform it all into solid biofuel because it will be better off that way. That takes a long time to craft biomass to solid biofuel in the workbench. That's why normally I put up a setup with the constructor. One for wood and one for leaves. It's not 100% efficient at the very beginning because you don't have enough items per belt, but it is better than nothing. I'll craft what I've got right now. I have 5 generators, so I'll do 60, split them. As you can see, 4 per minute in terms of solid biofuel. That's a lot more efficient than what we had previously. We'll let it run, craft some more. Alright. We'll let it run for now. We don't need to build anything else at the moment. Alright, so as you can see, this is how you start your Satisfactory game. Build a couple of machines, build the standard recipes and standard resources that you need, plates, concrete, rods, screws, and all the copper materials. And then you just go on from there, you automate, and you just send away all of the resources you have into the milestone. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's my first time doing this, so hopefully I'll make some more episodes. I'll probably do the leaves and woods off screen just to have that, but I won't touch this save. I'll just start building this from episode to episode. So thank you guys, and if you liked it, leave a comment. Let me know if you want to see something else, and I'll see you next time. We're probably going to touch the 2 other iron nodes, make the smart plating that we need, the reinforced iron plates and the modular frames probably. We'll probably do some power slugs, power generation stuff, and maybe, just maybe, touch the 2nd copper node that we've got there. I don't think that we need it for the very beginning, but yeah, that's the plan. So see you on the next episode.